I'm going to be talking about episode 11 of season 18 of Deadliest Catch. And the boats that are going to be in this episode are the Saga, Time Bandit, Eleanor J, and Patricia Lee. A couple boats are going to be finishing up their fall crab seasons in this episode, and that is the Saga and the Eleanor J. This episode starts out with the Saga, and they're by some of the islands, and they're fishing for black cod. They are doing extremely well. I think the gear is getting like anywhere from 50 to 100 black cod. Some of their longline strings are in a shipping area where the shipping goes from the Pacific coast. There's this one container ship that is starting to head towards some of his gear. So Jake warns the captain of the container ship, and the container ship captain, he's like, okay. The captain or whoever answered the radio doesn't change course, and they keep going in the direction of Jake's pots. The captain, he runs right over his gear, and when that's happening, Jake starts giving an earful to the captain and crew of the container ship and yelling and cussing at them over the radio. Then it goes to the Time Bandit. The Time Bandit is on the Golden King Crab grounds and somewhere in the 200 fathom range for Golden King Crab, and they're getting single-digit numbers. So Captain Jonathan calls his buddy over, Rip Carlton, on the Patricia Lee to see how they're doing, and the Patricia Lee is getting 40 plus Golden King Crab, and they're fishing 250 fathoms. He tells Jonathan that he's fishing in that depth of water. So Jonathan tells his crew to start stacking on the gear, and he's going to be fishing in the 250 fathom to 300 fathom range for Golden King Crab. Then it goes to the Eleanor J. The Eleanor J is fishing, I think, around Dutch Harbor or somewhere around there. They have about 7,000 pounds of Dungeness crab to catch. They're actually selling it through their own way. They've chartered a plane to get it to Seattle, and then they'll get it on a boat or plane from Seattle to Asia, because they're going to be making a lot more money wholesaling it than selling it through the canneries and stuff. So they're sending all their gear out, and hopefully they'll get the amount of crab that they need to finish their season off. Then it goes back to the Time Bandit, and the Time Bandit starts sending their gear in the area that Captain Rip suggested. Then it goes back to the Saga, and the Saga has a giant hook to drag on the bottom of the ocean, try and catch the string of pots that they're missing. It's like 170 pounds, and then they tie a chain on it to make it heavier so it'll stay on the bottom of the Bering Sea so they can snag their pots. They send about 1,600 feet of line or something like that out to catch the pots. And Jake has it on a drift. When he sees the boat start to slow down on that drift, he knows he's hooked onto probably his gear. So he's drifting, and then he hooks onto the gear. They start bringing in that line to catch the crab pots that the container ship cut off. So they get one pot, and they haul it in, and it's got 200 plus black cod in it. So if that keeps up, they're going to get their season finished pretty quickly. Then it goes back to the Time Bandit, and when they'd set a pot, he didn't say set a pot, and the crew set one in a little bit deeper water, like 300 fathoms, which was deeper than he wanted to fish in, because he could have lost his pot. They start going through that string with the pots anywhere from 250 fathoms to 300 fathoms. So they're hauling in the gear, and it starts out with like 8 Golden King Crab, and it just keeps getting a little bit better, and they start getting like 10 plus Golden King Crab, and then they get to the 300 fathom pot that they accidentally set. And that pot has about 20 plus Golden King Crab. He calls Captain Rip over on the Patricia Lee, and Captain Rip is not really in the mood to answer it because his block, which is more powerful than the other crab blocks on the other boats, because he has like 40-50 pots on a string, it has a lot of tension and weight on it. So earlier on in this episode, the coiler, it broke, so they're fixing it. And then Captain Rip finally answers the phone to Captain Jonathan, and Jonathan lets Captain Rip know that he's on the fish, and that his best number came from 300 fathoms of water. So they hang up, and Captain Rip's crew finally gets the block to where they need it to be, and they get back to hauling the gear, and it's not doing very well. Then it goes back to the Eleanor J. They're hauling in their 400 Dungeness crab pots, and they're getting 7 plus Dungeness crab per pot, so they're gonna hopefully have the 7,000 pounds of Dungeness crab that they need to catch to complete their order. Then it goes back to the Time Bandit, and I think this was like a salty take, but they're hauling in their gear when all of a sudden Jonathan sees something out of the corner of his eye, and it jumps out of the water, and it's a killer whale that is going right beside the Time Bandit, which was pretty cool, and they're showing that for a little bit and the crew reacting. Jonathan was like, that scared the hell out of me, but this is really, really cool. Then it goes to the Patricia Lee. They start going through their gear that's in the 300 fathom range that Jonathan recommended, and they're getting 40 to 50 plus Golden King crab in their pots. So Captain Rip is really, really happy about this. And the Patricia Lee, they have the highest quota for Golden King crab in the fleet. They have 1.5 million pounds of Golden King crab to catch, which is worth around $20-some million of quota. Captain Rip calls Jonathan up on the Time Bandit and lets him know that that was some good information. So Jonathan and Captain Rip are gonna kind of continue working together on this fishery to give each other information and help each other stay on the meat. Then it goes to the Saga, and the Saga is hauling in their final black cod pot of this season, and they're finishing out their 2021 fall season. And Jake calls Sean Dwyer to let him know that they're coming in with their quota, that they've caught it. They'll find out if they have enough or not. And then it shows the Eleanor J being offloaded and getting it packaged up and in boxes to take to the chartered plane to head back to Seattle. That is how episode 11 of season 18 of Deadliest Catch ends. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit the bell icon down below so you can be notified when I upload videos. Also, please share this video with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to smash the like button. Thank you guys for watching, and if you ain't dreaming, you ain't living. Don't forget to dream big.